Hello, I am Jordan Marmolejo, and I'm doing my paper slide project over post-mortem photography. And the reason I am doing post-mortem photography is because I actually have a Victorian era post-mortem photograph. And I would like to take the opportunity to show it real quick. I collect funeral history paraphernalia, and I collected this at an antique shop a couple years ago, and I just thought it was very interesting, so I brought it home with me. And this woman here is who is deceased in this photo, and you can tell because you look around her and she is so much clearer than her husband and her son here. You can see around them, it's a little bit blurry, their faces are kind of blurry, and that is because people, whenever they're alive, they tend to move and shift a little bit naturally. And as she was not alive, she couldn't move abruptly. And because of the slow shutter speed, you had to remain completely still for the picture to come out clear. And so I just wanted to display that. Anyways, so this is the history of postmortem photography. Postmortem photography was popularized in the mid to late 1800s. What is postmortem photography? Postmortem photography is, as it sounds, taking a picture of someone who has passed. And a lot of times, this would be the only picture that the family had, especially in childhood. And so these pictures would bring families lots of solace within their grief. It was something they could hold on to remember the child or loved one that passed. And like I said, this was often the only photo that they had of the entire family. And this was what an 1800s camera looked like in my own depiction. And you, like I said earlier, you had to be completely still while the picture was being taken, and humans are not very good at being completely still. And so that's why the people that were alive in the photos came out kind of blurry. All right, and children were often posed as if they were sleeping. And so in a post-mortem photograph, a child would be depicted as they were asleep, and then the family would be surrounding them in the photo that was taken in the funeral parlor. And my reference for that is ClaraBartonMuseum.org. The last sleep pose was what was mostly used in postmortem photography because it depicted someone restful and reposed and relaxed. And so it made, it gave the viewers of the photo peace, thinking about their loved one, being asleep or just being at peace. And a big thing, and my reference for this was artandcontext.org. Children were often posed with flowers. So children, they're here I depicted a father poorly, and other children, because other children were often included in these photos or in these ceremonies, because unlike today, the child mortality rate was extremely high. Children often died because of illness, accidents, just all sorts of things. So the infant and child mortality rate was really high. And so it was pretty often that children were exposed to death in their lives. Children were also often posed with toys and personal effects. So they would be posed in that last sleep pose, but they would also have toys that they liked, or their favorite stuffed animals, or in their favorite clothes. Funeral tableau. So funeral tableau was the practice of a group of several funeral goers, several mourners surrounding the casket. And that's whenever the post-mortem photograph was taken, is with multiple people surrounding the person in the casket. All right. And so to wrap up, my conclusion, the reason I chose postmortem photography is, again, because I have this piece of history and I really admire it, and it's one of my favorite things that I own, along with my embalming fluid jar. This is just something that I really cherish, and anytime that I get the opportunity to talk about it, I just love talking about it. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about this important piece of American funeral history. And I also wanted to say that my favorite part of the class is just learning all about funeral history. I just really like history. I'm just kind of a nerd like that, and I just really enjoy learning things and learning about funeral history. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.